Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Professor Loki, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the differences and just the differences between the minions and the Loki decoy changes, and just basically giving you more of a factual summary. This is going to be like not me trying to imply anything. I just want to get things set in stone because, it's just not true, really. So, if we talk about the Loki, let's talk about Loki's decoy, right? If you guys haven't known this, but Loki's decoy got a buff, or what I like to call a compensation, not a buff. People think it's a buff, but I don't think it's a buff. So, Loki's decoy went from 75 at level 1 to 90. In other words, it got 15 more damage per rank. So 75 to 90 at level 1 and so forth, plus 15. And then also it got its cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. Now that is a buff. 2 seconds cooldown, sure. But we'll talk about that later on. Well, let's talk about the damage part. So you can say this is both a buff and a compensation, but all around you don't just say it's a buff for Loki, and it's not. I don't think it's the reason why Loki is being played a lot. He's just being played a lot because people are thinking he's good now. He's not good. Never was, never will probably ever be good competitively, and in higher rank as well. Maybe mid and low, definitely, but nothing more than that. So if we look at here, old archers and old melees. Now we want to focus on these two, really, not the old brute, because at level 1, brutes don't exist. Sorry, at the first wave, brutes did not exist because, as you can tell, the higher res realized, that's a bit insane, so 700 health is kind of hard to kill. So before Season 5, archers had 265 health, melee had 365 health. In Season 5, however, the current one, in Season 5 5.1 patch, it now has 305 health, 420 health. So the archer has gained 40 health and 55 health in total. And they also have 10% damage reduction. This is always a thing. They don't have physical or magical defense. To keep it consistent, they just get 10% damage reduction plus 1% per minute. And since this is the first minute we're talking about, this does not apply, and we're just talking about the 10%. So if we look at old Loki's decoy, at level 1 it deals 75 unmitigated damage. The old Loki's decoy with 20 power from Transcendence, and we're going to choose Transcendence tier 2 because it's a popular pick. This is not me trying to invoke that tier 2, that Trans is back or anything like that. And I'm not saying that it isn't. It's easier, more consistent, 20 power. So if you get tier 2 Trans with 20 power, you'll have your decoy should deal a 95 damage total unmitigated. That was before Season 5. Now this is one that's currently. Like if you play Smite right now, this is what's going to happen. So 90 damage now because it gained 15 damage because of the change. And if you add 20 power to it, it's 110. Now if you do 10% math, whatever, old Loki's decoy will deal a total of 85 damage. Not unmitigated, but mitigated damage. So you will deal 85 damage to archers and to melees and to brutes. So that would take, again, let's just ignore the last number. It's archers, melee. Archers are the squishiest. 85 minus, 265, that would be 180. And then 85 minus 365 is 280. So that's how much health the minion wave will have in total after your first decoy with tier 2 Trance. Now, the new Loki's decoy with Trance will deal a total of 99 damage. So it's 110 times 10%, and it'll be scaled down to 99 total mitigated damage. And just do the math. 99 minus 305, that'll be 206. 99 minus 420, that's 321, and so forth. And that's the total health they will have. Now, as you can tell, if we do 180 minus or 180 versus 206 in the new in a new Season 5, the minions will have a total, or sorry, I should probably fix this to be more specific. I just made this real fast. Archers will have 26 more health than they usually did. and then minions, or the melees, will have 41 more health than they had before. So if this is confusing for you, just think about this right now. If you play Loki in Season 5 right now, minions will have archers will have 26 more health, and the melees will have 41 more health. Not the brutes. The brutes are the big guys in the very front, and then the melees are the medium guys in the front as well, and then archers are always in the back. If Decoy did not get any changes, they will have 40 more health. Archers will have total of 40 health. In other words, if this 85 was applied to the new Season 5 changes, the archer will have 40 more health, and the melee will have 55 more health. Now, obviously, that's a lot, so this is what they did, as what I like to call a compensation. So they didn't buff Loki. They didn't make Loki stronger or better at what he's doing. In fact, his clearing is technically worse than before, if you think about it, right? If we just think about a Loki's perspective, right? Loki's perspective only. Loki's level 1 clear, and actually I believe every clear, not too sure, but I know at level 1, his clear is worse than before. Because you can tell right here, right? No changes to Decoy. This is the old, like, Season 4 Decoy. Minions will have a total of 180 health. And the new one, with the change of Decoy, will have 206. So they have, 40 more health. Or, sorry, 26. 26. Yes, 26, my bad, not 40. I was like, wait, that's not right math. They'll have 26 more health. So as you can tell, right now Loki's level 1 clear. The minion wave will have more health than it does before. So this is actually worse, which means that, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself because I'm trying to get you to get the point here. Loki's Decoy at level 1 will technically deal less damage than it was before. Literally, it does deal more damage. 110 versus 95. I mean, that's more damage, right? 15 more damage in total. But against the minions, because you got to realize this. If these were kept the same, if the health remained the same, Season 4 to Season 5, the minion wave remained the same health, then yes, that would be an actual buff, because the archers were still fixed and they didn't get changed. But you guys got to realize that in Season 5, all minions are tankier. Not including creeps. Creeps are different. Those are jungle camps. Those actually kind of way weaker. But the point is, the minion wave, they got tankier. So while they gained more health, Loki's Decoy also got more damage. I find out it's a coincidence, and it's not it is a complete coincidence, and it's a logical one because it's a compensation. Loki's Decoy got 15 more damage to make up for the fact that all minions are tankier. So it's not a buff. The only thing that's an actual buff, and by the way, let me tell you this, since Loki's Decoy will now be worse at level 1 right now, they said, okay, so we gave Loki's Decoy compensation, but it's still pretty bad. So to make up for that, we're going to reduce it by 2 seconds. Now that is an actual buff, but it can also be considered a compensation to the damage increase. I should have probably drew a graph to give you guys a visual interpretation, because I know I'm really bad at explaining things. So, but yeah, that's how it is. Minions got buffed. Loki, in exchange, got buffed as well. And then since that damage is still pretty low because it's worse, right? Like I said, minions they have more health than they had before, which means it takes you more auto attacks. They just decreased the Loki's Decoy by 2 seconds. So it's like a pattern, right? Minion HP gain, Loki's Decoy damage increase. I can't type, I'm sorry, there's a microphone in front of me. Increased by 15. And that still not good enough since they have more health still in total than before. So technically that is still less damage. Less damage. So we, high-res, decided to compensate that by what? Reducing 2 seconds cooldown to Loki's decoy. So there you go. You can see how it, it's very dependent. Loki, it seems like Loki's the minion HP gain is the X variable, right? And then Loki's damage and everything else is like the Y variable. So Loki is dependent on minions, but the minions are independent from Loki. So if minions get changed, Loki will also be changed. But if Loki gets changed, minions don't change at all. Obviously, that's just simple math right there. But yeah, I hope you guys get the idea now. It bothers me when people think that Loki actually got a buff when clearly he deals. I should stop saying that Loki's decoy deals less damage. It's more or less that minions have more health than it was before. And since Loki's decoy did not get, if it was buffed by like 25 increase, and I'm pretty sure that would be an actual buff. I think, yeah, because that would be less. But it's not. It's just 15. Again, it's a compensation, right? Because if you think about it, right? If Loki's decoy was 75, okay, well, I have it right here actually. If no decoy damage changed, so if it's season 5, but I said this before, and it deals only 95 damage, then they would have this much more HP. So you got to worry about this much more. And since Loki has probably the worst clear in the game at level 1, I would think so. Not entirely sure. That's not a factual statement because I'm not too sure. But Loki has one of the worst level 1 clear. Now, I think that's a factual statement. So they decided to increase it by 15 damage, but they didn't want to make Loki... I don't know why they didn't just make it consistent. So, but here's why, actually. Yes, Loki's clear at Season 5 is worse than it was in Season 4. But you gotta realize that minions being tanky apply to every single god in the game. So that means Bastet, Sun Wukong, every god in the game will now have to deal with that extra tankiness of the minions. And I mean, when I mean by tankiness, I mean health-wise. So you gotta be fair and be consistent. You can't just look in Loki's world. But if we do look in Loki's world, this is definitely a compensation, not a buff. And his clear is worse. His clear is worse in Season 5 than Season 4 at level 1. So enough with me rambling. Don't want to make this video too long. This is just a factual, more of a just information. Just wanted to show you guys this. You guys get to decide ultimately whether you think this is a buff or a nerf. And if you guys think I did my math wrong or anything like that, feel free to tell me in a civil way. If my math is wrong or if I did something really stupid and calculate the entire thing wrong, I will obviously delete this video. So I don't want to spread lies. So anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please post it down below. And I will see you guys all Loki and non-Loki players next time.